Hey guys, it's Naked here. Just a quick tutorial on how I like to sort of do my processing within Reason. And some processes you'll realize that there's not actually an automatic gain knob. So in the case of the M-class equalizer, for example, there's no automatic gain knob. So when you do make sort of adjustments, you can't rebalance. You'll end up using the instrument knob, the fader, or you'll use the gain knob. Now that's okay, but I've found that I don't get as much accuracy from the fader if I don't keep it close to in and around zero. Basically, I'm not saying you can't have it down here or here, but I'm just saying I don't find you get as much accuracy with the knob. And people have spoken about this with gain, staging, and resolution. They factor the impact on resolution when you are actually mixing. So I think it has a lot to do with that. But yeah, so what I do, or my workaround, and you can do this as well with a lot of your creative stuff as well. So what I tend to do is I'll load up obviously an equalizer. I will get an M-class compressor as well. I'll take the threshold down because we just don't need it. And I'll use this as my utility sort of gain plug. You can use whichever one that you want to use, whichever one that you're currently using, but this is just for the sake of this tutorial. That's how I'm doing it, just to show you how I like to go about things. And then the key bit to this is the show programmer. You can also do this in the combinator as well. And I also recommend anytime you're doing any sort of patches, anything that you're going to be using frequently, you do save it as a patch rather, should I say. So as you can see, hold on a sec, I'll just open it up for you. I've got all my Reason patches here in a folder that they're just ready for me to use. So I definitely would recommend that you get your own folder ready for you to just sort of, just makes your workflow so much quicker. So what we're going to do is let's actually listen to it first and we'll go from there. So yeah, that's our sound. And what we're going to do is use this part of the show programmer to sort of control the bypass and the on switch on both of these. So we're just going to go to this section here and we're going to put this up to 1. So the reason that I'm doing that is because this then can't cycle through the off position. We don't need that. So we're only going to be going through bypass and on. And the same thing we're actually going to do for the compressor as well. So like that. So once I engage the button, it's going to obviously bypass whatever it is that we're working on. So on, bypass, on, bypass. So now that we've got that working, actually just a little side note, like I say, you can use a combinator and you can use this, the mixer utility as well, but it's really good as well. I do recommend that you use it for creative elements. I might do another video on that later or another date. And what I'm going to do is run this. You've kind of got to pretend that this is a sort of an audio track at the moment, but you've got to pretend the Dr. Octa X, for the sake of arguments, is an audio track and you've been sent a stem of this. So that's kind of how I'm viewing it for this tutorial. So what I'm now going to do is sort of use the equalizer to sort of find frequencies that I'm just not happy, or that's just not making it sound as great as I'd like it to. Remove those, and then I'm just going to level match it. So that's the whole idea of the tutorial, and obviously you can use this method and apply it to whichever situation you feels best for yourself. So let's get going. We'll A/B the audio along this process just so you can sort of obviously hear what's going on and what I'm doing. So obviously me just sort of A/Bing just this processor here, the equalizer, you can hear the level of difference, the level changing. So to negate all of this, I'm just going to boost this up to where I think that it should be, because the whole idea of processing is that, you know, each time you're affecting a sound is that you want the level to remain the exact same. You're trying to make the sound better. You're not, and I'm sure you're all aware of the impact that loudness has on our desire to think something sounds better when in fact it might not. So yeah, just always bear that in mind whenever you are applying processing. Just make sure it sounds the same level as you had it before the processing. So let's have another little listen to that. So yeah, again, I'm just listening. I think that's just a little bit too loud for me. It's not quite right. Yeah, and there you go. So that's how I like to sort of go about my processing. As you can see, yeah, they roughly sound the same now. It's a lot cleaner just by just making a minor adjustment to the frequency there in that 625 Hertz range. And I've level matched it, so now that I know going forward it's going to sound a lot better. Hopefully you've enjoyed my video. I am going to put my social media links in the bottom because I would like to start chatting to more of the producer guys out there, more of the mixing guys out there, just so we can sort of share tips, improve our abilities and things like that. Also, if you could like and subscribe, or if you didn't like the video, just, you know, give me some sort of feedback as to where I could improve, that would be brilliant as well. So take care guys and keep doing your thing.